Hello, and welcome back. This is a 37-minute and 27-second video. You will see a shadow walking by. I'm shutting off one little lamp and turning on another one. Whisper, I spoke to him as I woke up and I switched lights. He hears me and he comes out because he realizes that there might be some fresh food here. So he's checking around to see. He's sniffing, trying to figure out where the smell's coming from. But he does decide to go on his wheel. As you see. So this was a continuous recording. It's called all-day recording. Now, I heard a ding on my phone. The security camera lets me know when it's picked up any movement. So I quickly grabbed the phone and I switched it to all-day recording. So there'll be constant recording and capturing every move he makes. Now, motion detection, what it does is it stops when he stops. So if he's out of sight of the camera, underground or something, the camera will stop and it'll pick him up again, but in a different location. So that's confusing to you, I'm sure, where the camera stops and starts. The security camera name is called Blue Rams, as you see in the corner of the video. It is the Home Pro. I put them in the terrarium upside down, but when I edit it, I flip it around. Because the camera is hanging upside down in the terrarium, one pointing one direction, one pointing the other direction. This camera gets the whole shot. The other camera gets close-ups of just the other half. So what's holding them in place is I wrap a washcloth around the stem near the base. It's upside down, remember? Now, the terrarium at the lids at the top, it's divided in two. There's a bar in the middle, just like picture an aquarium with a bar in the middle. Well, there's two metal mesh like screen windows, only they're metal mesh, very strong. Two of those and the bar in the middle. And each one totally comes off as a lid on its own, a door. Well, when I set the camera in one of the corners of half of the terrarium, opening one of the doors only, I set it in one of the corners, and then I trap it in place with the lid, and it leaves a little bit of a gap because the base keeps the gap up from the lid totally closing, totally flat. So the lid holds it in place upside down with a washcloth wrapped around it, and that's, keeping it in place. That way I can pull a little on the right of the washcloth or a little bit on the left to angle, to turn it in the direction that I want with the lid slightly ajar. So I thought I'd share that with people out there that wonder how I do this. At the end there, those 4 bars you see, that is a pole lamp. And that is wrought iron pole lamp. Those bars you see up against the wall outside of the glass of his home there. So the Blue Rams camera, it only lasted a couple of weeks, one of them, and I got a replacement. I think it was only $46, something like that with taxes. Anyway, they replaced it because I was within the 30 days. So the reason why I don't put the cameras right inside of the terrarium, they have cords, wires. I don't want him to chew on and get electrocuted. Cats chew on phone cords and they get shocked. And a remedy for that is to put hairspray on your hand and wipe the cords with it once a month and keep your cats from chewing your phone cords. I would never put live wires of any sort in there and risk my pet's life. So that's catching you up on security cameras, how they work. You do have to use a 128 gig SD card is what I use for each camera, and I don't fill it all up. Regardless if you use their website subscription, it's still encrypted. You still have to convert the video in order to save it to your computer and be able to edit it. Otherwise, it's just a raw file that looks like a piece of paper, no video. So I must tell you, Whisper has some gluten-free grain bread there with chia bread. It is actually. It's toasted, and he's got the crust of it. He likes it very much. And then there's peaches and cream, niblets, corn. I usually give him 1 or 2 of those every 3-4 days. You don't want too much carbs for him. He would eat it too much because it's his favorite. And then there is romaine lettuce. There is dandelion leaves, piece of walnut there. The dark part is the black sunflower seeds. I must tell you some fruits that are actually poisonous, very toxic, I should say. Pickles, peaches, peach stones and the peach leaves, avocado, pineapple, grapefruits of any kind, lemon, watermelon, any hard seed stones and pits, etc. are very toxic, though those are just a few. You need to Google before you give them anything outside of hamster food. Google it if you're not sure. And the only thing you should be giving them to drink ever is just water. I use spring bottled water for him. I buy from Amazon once a month. It's I believe it's 1.5 liters, and it's only $1.18 in Canada. And that bottle will last him a couple of months, for him anyway. And he has 2 dishes every day in his terrarium. So I'll leave you to that. You will see him get in there and sit on his food. There is also another dish of seeds and grains and nuts. He'll probably eat that piece of corn first. It's his favorite. The second favorite would be the toast crust. The third is the romaine lettuce. Sunflower seeds are right up there with the corn, but the corn is his most favorite. We'll see how he gets in there. He'll sit on his food first, and then he'll spin around and eat his favorites first. And then his least favorite, he may take and store in his pouch for later, if it's one of his favorites, but his least favorite. Otherwise, he'll leave things in the dish and come back later. That actually looks like a watermelon or tomato, but it's not. It's the dehydrated strawberry, and they're stuck together in a shape that almost looks like it's square or diamond shape, but no, it's safe for him to eat. It's not tomato or watermelon. I don't quite remember because it's been a while, but I know I would never give him that. They're toxic. So enjoy the video, and I shall be back to say a few more words to you in this video. Just you have about another 27 minutes left to watch. You may want to pause it and pick it up on another day or later in the day if it's too long for you. I didn't break it up. I could. I should, but I'm not going to. You'll notice when he's in the wheel and when he's down at his water house at the other end in the sand bath, it's way too dark. So the video clarity is grainy and not clear. Just now, a shadow went by, and that was me walking by, and it picked my shadow up that you just noticed a moment ago. So now he is up there. He is sniffing the romaine before he gets inside the dish. And he will rest his butt inside there. So, looks like he's eating the strawberry corn. He's got the corn first, another piece of corn. Okay, he has that first. I suspected the corn would be first. See how long their whiskers are? They'll know before they bump into something. You know, it gives them a couple of inches in front of their face protection. They'll feel something before they bump into it. Because their eyesight, they can only see 2 inches clear in front of them. After that, it's shadows. Blurry. So he took the sunflower seed first, stored it. Now there is some broccoli. There's some broccoli piece, little florets, just the little buds of the broccoli, steamed, pre-cooked, but not too soft. And there's a piece of the spinach there. It's stuck to the dish. Baby spinach. Of course, you know, just 2 pieces of corn would fill them. And he's preferring to eat the corn. He's got the second piece of corn, the other he stored. So actually, every piece that I have in there is way too large for him. Even for a Syrian larger hamster, it's too much. But he takes a little of each, and I just throw the rest out and give him fresh another day. He also has his grains in there elsewhere. He's still getting that piece that's stuck to the side. Now there, what you see there is dandelion leaves. I bought them from Amazon. You can see the dandelion flowers still stuck to the stem there. He's going through getting the best parts that he wants out of it. Now he's going for the romaine lettuce. The reason why I give him larger pieces is because I don't know which part of the lettuce, the yellow, the green, or the darker green, which part he prefers of the food that I do give him that's fresh. Actually, what we thought was strawberry dehydrated, it's actually carrot. You will see at the very end when daylight comes, it's orange, not red. The coloring is off. So the majority that is in there is the dandelion leaves in there. Very little, just little specks of baby spinach, raw, of course. The broccoli, little flowerets, just little beads of it were in there as well. And he does have flaxseed, sesame seed, hamster seed. He also has the mealy worms. Protein, they need the protein, not just the carbs, to keep their energy up and keep them from gaining too much weight and healthy. So he's going into the tree house. That was kind of silly, wasn't it? He went up through the hole to the 2nd floor and now he's coming back down. See, he's lazy, always in a hurry. Instead of taking the ladder, he took the shortcut. And that's what he did off the roof one time. He went a few times, he's jumped off of it. One time he fell trying to go around the blue water dish, which was on the edge. Since then, I pushed it way back because he fell and almost hit that ladder. And a lot of the times he was jumping. So now, weeks later, after this video, I did lay it down, and it's on the far right side now, and the wheel is in the middle. And it's much safer now. He's in his house. He's bearing the sunflower seeds that he stored in his pouch. You'll notice he is double the size, of course, since February when I got him in January, actually, January 20th. He has doubled in size. Now, he looks fat, but he's not. He's carrying around, and they do that quite often. They carry their food in their pouches because predators, they need to be ready. And me, ripping their home apart and changing it. When I do that, if I find food, I will take it and put it to the home that he just went into while I was doing one half of the terrarium. I don't always take him out when I'm doing changes. Only when I'm doing a lot of the bedding of the terrarium, then I will. Too much fluff. It will be flying in the air. If he's out in the open watching me, and sometimes he does come out of his sleep or hiding and follow me around and watch what I'm doing and sniff. So right now he's gone into his underground maze house. There he is. He's came back up. I saw movement in the black house again. So he's came up through the other side. Okay, I'm going to leave you to watch him. He's going over behind that little tree house, birch little hideaway that is out of view at the end of the tree house there. He's gone inside there checking out to see if there's food in there. I do have a lot of seeds and nuts and things on top of that, where he comes down off of the tree house down onto the birch bark hideaway house that's hidden. You can't see it. It's on the other side. He gets on top of that and he eats what he wants out of that. Then he jumps down. Now, just now you saw him drop down behind the water house. There's a crack in between the table and what I use as fencing, which is actually suspension bridges, 7-8 inches wide. One piece is 15 inches long and the other piece is 24 inches long. He's dropped down in between the little gap there, the table and the fencing, down to underneath. Where he is, I don't know. He's behind the sand bath, or he's gone into the maze again. We shall see where he comes out. I must also tell you, don't waste your money on the Amazon ladder that is like a V shape. Chances are you will not use that unless you want to use it for him sitting under as like a little hideaway, up against the glass or the bars where he could hide underneath and he could put bedding under there. But as a ladder, like it's for a Syrian hamster, it's fine, but for a dwarf hamster, they're no good. It's too steep on one side, and the other side's not as steep, but they are steep, and there's no way to remedy that to help. Whereas these ones here, you can build up bedding at one end to raise one end. Whereas if it's a solid piece of a V-shaped ladder, it's no good for dwarf hamster. Save your money. You get more use out of the other kind instead. And you can get 2 of the small ones for the price of the V-shape one piece. I'm not using it at the present time in there. I do periodically pull it out, and I will stuff half of it into the bedding and only use half of it. And the other half will be underground, hidden, because I can't use it anyway, so I'll use the part that isn't as steep and shove the other half down in the bed and put the other half closer to a table for him to go up on. So it kind of goes, one half goes under the table, down into the bedding, and then the other half is still out so that he can get up onto a table. You can use it that way too. It's pretty well the only way you can get the most use of it. You could also turn it on its side and use it as a barrier, a little fence for a corner. Leave a gap for him to enter and exit. I'm sorry I don't have it in view. I'm talking about it, but it's not in there now. It's a V-shaped ladder on Amazon. Right now he is in the bottom of the tree house, in hiding and burying food in that house as well. A little bit of food in every house. He knows he has 1, 2, 3, 4 homes, and the sand bath as well he could use as a home. There he goes. He's going to go up on the roof. There was hesitation there before he went up through the top hole, and I think he had to drop some food out of his pouch so that he would fit through that small hole. This is no good for Syrian hamster. See how dangerous, daredevil he is. And that's why I laid it down, because one of these times he's going to sprain his foot or a shoulder, even though there's lots of bedding there to cushion the blow. The wheel's on top of lots of bedding there. But he could still twist or sprain part of his body. So it's laid down now. You'll see it in future videos. I'll never raise it up again like that. Right now he's out of view. He probably went into the underground house that is at the end of this table in the middle, directly across from that ladder that is attached to the tree house. There is an underground home there, so he probably stored some food in there as well. He came out, as you saw. Now he's going back to that house. He's probably transferring food, or he's stealing bedding from one area and taking it to another area to bury his food to make it fluffier. So now he's trying to get behind the tree house, and he can't push it to get in behind it. He never stops trying to push it with his body weight to get behind it. As you can see, he's picked up some more of his food from one storage area and filled those pouches. They're even larger than what they were when he was in this feeding dish here that we can see up close. Now, he could be hiding some behind the wheel, or he's doing what I've caught him trying to do before, is push that house forward so he can have a pathway going behind it, another way of hiding and running away from any predators or me when I'm approaching, which he does quite often, most of the time. But when I'm in there and I'm doing changes, he'll follow me around, and he's quite brave then. There he is. Okay, out of view, there is a little wooden barrel there, and it's out of view. There is some mealyworms inside there, and he's he's going under the fluff, and he's dropping some food there. I just saw the fluff move. So he's getting the mealyworms and he's storing them in his pouch, and it looks like he might have taken some out and put them under the fluff there, which is beside it, because the fluff is moving a little bit. It's a little tiny barrel, wooden barrel that comes with the treehouse, and I had left it tipped on its side with some mealyworms in it. Easy access because he's so small. Yeah, looks like he's going to store them all, the little hog. They act like they do in the wild, want to get all he can. It's protein. It's the most protein of anything that is in his home right now, mealyworms. And he is taking as much as he can so he can store it away for a rainy day. Looked like he was carrying a piece of fluff in his mouth too. He might have realized he's got too much food in his cheeks, and he carried that piece of fluff in his mouth. Did you see that? He had a piece of fluff in his mouth. Certainly dropped it over by his house, which is by that colored chew ball there, spiky chew ball. They're a waste of money for a dwarf hamster anyway. He's never ever touched it. But the Whimsy dog dental chew bones, oh my God, they are fantastic. He loves them. He uses them. He chews them down until they're broken in half, and some of them are toothpicks. He loves those. So save your money. Don't buy the wooden crap that has safe food coloring in it. But regardless, the Whimsy dental bones for dogs, extra small size. They will use those. 90% of the time, the wooden ones, he's never even touched his. But I know other people on YouTube, they haven't touched them, or they have, but very little. The extra small dental dog bones, Whimsy, are on Amazon. Other brands, I don't know if he'd like them. So we're coming to the end of the video, and I am sorry I did play back. I can hear my breath. I'm too close to the mic. As you can see, what I thought was strawberry dehydrated is carrot, steamed carrot. I give them quite often very firm, not too soft, steamed vegetables that are safe. And I also give them a long piece of peeled hard carrot too. That's also good for the teeth, as well as the extra small Whimsy dental bones. Thank you for stopping by, and I do hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day. Take care.